All right, welcome back to episode 3 of the Millennial Gentleman podcast. Here I am with my co-host, Tremaine Hayho. Say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm
And
here.
we got serious business stuff to talk about tonight. Because as you all know, I am a thespian.
Yes.
And I'm a super famous actor, in case you didn't know. And I have starred in such wonderful pictures as The Bachelor Party Part 1, It's a Wonderful Life, I think, or
It's a Wonderful Lifestyle. Yeah,
Lifestyle.
The Playboy's Impossible Mission.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm also, the host, or at least I used to be, of the RPG Fanatic show that has like 200 episodes or some nonsense. And I'm an executive producer on one of Tremaine's movies, Rideshare.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Executive producer, Rideshare, hell yeah, Carrie Martell. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you actually, according to your IMDb, you reprised your role as Brad Pitt in because you were Brad Pitt in The Bachelor Party episode 1.
That's right.
That's right. But you also reprised your role in The Bachelor Party episode 2. It's a Wonderful Lifestyle: The Rise of Showstopper, which is now on YouTube, that everyone can see. Is that correct information?
That's correct information. I was asked to reprise my role as Brad Pitt in the part 2. Yes.
That is awesome, man. No one else can play Brad Pitt like you.
I know.
When I saw your acting on the big screen as Brad Pitt, I was like, wow, just wow. So anyone listening has to watch Carrie's acting, because he is a thespian.
I'm a method actor, actually, in order to take on these roles. It's true.
No, you're right.
I guess we couldn't keep it going, could we?
We keep going. Yeah, keep a straight face.
So the reason why, oh gosh, I'm not even gonna. You're gonna have to read it for us, Tremaine. But the reason why we're saying this is because, as I've mentioned on this channel, I'm currently I started a newspaper, the Yamhill Advocate, researching what's basically a critical race theory cult of racists in my hometown. Have taken over the town, and in today or last night, I guess, because now it's 12:40 in the morning. One of the cult members made this amazing post on Facebook, who said they were doing research into me, and they had discovered I am an actor. And ooh, it's a sinister plot, because this must all be part of some, I don't know, what was she trying to say? Like, it's a viral marketing thing or something?
Dude, yeah, it's just really like, there's nothing, they try really hard to like say they got you, like, oh, we got you. He's also a thespian actor. He was in the Bachelor Party episode 2. Reprising his role as Brad Pitt.
Woo!
Oh my gosh. That's ridiculous, dude. Well, that's the thing, man. It's like you realize, hey, it's not all politics. You know what I mean? Like, part of your life is helping people, helping the community, taking down a cult organization. And then also being a thespian on the side.
That's right.
And acting and knowing your art form and being an artist that you are.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. You got to balance the two lifestyles. As many great actors there in Hollywood do. I'm also involved in social activism, in addition to my acting lifestyle, you know. And my brand of social activism is exposing a bunch of fucking idiots for being a bunch of racists.
Because the thing is it's so much. It means so much to you, your thespianism and acting, that you partake in social activism as well, and try to change the community. It's like that ultimate question: what comes first, the chicken or the egg? It's like, does Carrie Martell's thespianism come first, or does his political activism come after? It's like the chicken or the egg, right? Which came first? And they kind of, it's kind of both at the same time. You know what I mean? So
I think it's definitely both at the same time for me. Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, around the same time as you were reprising your role as Brad Pitt in The Bachelor Party,
which is a hard role, you know.
Yeah,
very challenging.
Yeah, you're right. You were starting the Yamhill Advocate. So, starting the Yamhill Advocate, reprising your role as Brad Pitt, both at the same exact level. Tell me about the feelings and emotions that you get as a thespian activist.
Well, you get to explore so many different dimensions of the human condition. There's always different feelings people have throughout the day, and a lot of people don't focus on the small, tiny moments. And that's what I try to do, man. I try to focus on those moments and magnify them, make them bigger. So they're not just tiny moments anymore. They're big moments that other people can see through me. And that's my canvas. Wow. I am the canvas. I am the canvas that I paint upon. That's what my acting is.
Wow. Oh my gosh, you guys all heard it here first. The canvas that is Carrie Martell. And wow, that was some eye-opening, mind-blowing information.
I'm sure
for the galaxy. It was, and it is, and it will be for centuries to come. That's putting it mildly. So. So okay. Anyway, what are we missed though? What are we drinking tonight?
Shit! I'm having the same thing I had yesterday, which was the apricot ale from Pyramid. Fruit beer.
Nice. Okay.
Fruit beer. Okay. Pretty good. How about yourself? What have you been drinking tonight? What haven't you drank is probably easier to list.
Yeah, I know. I was drinking a little something earlier. I was drinking a little something ale from Lagunitas Brewery, but now I'm drinking a Tahoe Blue vodka with a little orange juice and a little spritzer. So got a little bubbly sparkling water. So sparkling water, orange juice, and vodka is what I'm drinking right now.
Sounds tasty.
It's very tasty, very tasty, and it's also healthy too. It's like I'm trying to cut down the sugar because normally
very healthy.
I would right, super healthy, super duper healthy.
It's got some fruit in it,
Normally I would just do orange juice and vodka, but like I'm trying to cut down the sugar. Carrie, Mr. Martell, Mr. Thespian, So I put a little water in there, diluted the drink, a little bit. So
okay.
So yeah. Anyway.
So what's new in your life? Because everything that's new in my life, I put on the Yamhill Advocate.
That's true, guys.
So what's going on with you?
Check out the Yamhill Advocate, guys. If you haven't already, check it out. Be in the loop with Carrie Martell and the Yamhill Advocate and his thespian activism. With me, our latest cut of Cat Town is the cat documentary, Carrie. You watched the
Yeah,
run
yeah,
quite a bit.
it's good.
And,
It's
yeah,
good. It's good. I saw
thanks,
what was
man.
it, version 3 or 4?
Yeah, 3 or 4. We're at. I think you watched version 3. We're at version 5 now. So
Oh.
like, version 5 is like pretty much. It's pretty much there. Like the last few things we have is like very tiny, like little tweaks and stuff. So
Good.
I'm actually proud to say, yeah, dude. And actually, Carrie, you helped me out a lot. Like you gave me some good notes, some good feedback. Like I sent it to a lot of people. They gave me a lot of good notes. I had a lot of strong feedback from these people. Like, oh my gosh, people in cats, like they have very strong opinions. So
Wow. I'm
yeah,
glad that
but
my notes
also,
were
like,
helpful to you.
yeah, they were very helpful, and like but I sent it to a lot of other friends, and yeah, I got a lot of different types of feedback. So, but now finally, yeah, there's like a beginning, middle, end. There's a through line to the whole documentary, and yeah, man, I'm pretty proud of it. I'm to be honest, pretty proud of it. So it's gonna come out next month. And,
What?
yeah, it's coming out next month.
You don't want to try to wait and try to sell it? I think it's pretty good, man. I think you could definitely get like an actual Netflix deal from that. I'm not lying. I think it's pretty good. I think it's definitely something that, I mean, it's a documentary, so you're not going to get paid a lot for it, but it's definitely licensable. I think you should. I think you should give it a go.
Well, yeah, no, you're right.
Send it to some festivals. There's
I guess what I mean is like we're gonna do a screening in December. It's not gonna be released.
Oh,
okay.
That's fine. Well,
yeah.
Let me tell you what you should do. There's a festival in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Actually, around this time, to be honest, maybe you might not be able to do it. Oh fuck! I think they usually hold it around the early part of the year. That would be perfect because it's a documentary and it's funded by Michael Moore. I think he's on the board, and it's 4 documentaries, and it's 4 documentaries in reality. I think they also have a category for reality now. When I was in film school, I went to that festival, and there was a lot of crap there, but there was also some interesting stuff. But yeah, I would definitely pitch it to some festivals for docs because I think it's good. I think you could definitely get a license deal for it.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, no, I think it's good. So yeah, it's gonna be good. And if it does, yeah, that's awesome. So I'm excited about that. So that's what's new. To answer your question, the cat documentary is new. We also have Simp, the movie.
Talk about the plot of Simp. That's your next horror flick, right?
Correct. Yeah. So so it's about a Instagram model who gets kidnapped at a fake photo shoot. So yeah, that's what it's about.
Great. Is this the one that was based on a true story?
It's loosely based on true events. Yeah, so
or inspired by true events.
Inspired, yeah, that too. Definitely inspired by true events. Several events that have happened. Like, yeah, but yeah, one was like, it was a fake photo shoot, and the guy kidnapped the girl, and then held her for ransom. Like, tried to make money. But like, yeah, no, it's kind of interesting though. It's like I took that concept, which is a very serious concept, very scary concept, and I made it, maybe a little bit lighter hearted, where it's like everyone's kind of just completely in over their heads. So it's like a dark comedy in that aspect. So when you guys watch it, it's scary, but it's not like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, it's scary, but it's not super scary, I guess. But it takes itself seriously, but it's not too serious. I don't know. It's hard to describe. But
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Let me know when you got a good cut of it.
Thanks, man.
I'll take a look at it, give you some notes.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, no, we're ways from that, but
maybe this will be the one that lets us fund Redneck Strip Club.
This is true. This could help.
So Tremaine and I have this project. We wrote a script together called Redneck Strip Club, which is also inspired by true events.
This is true. This is true.
It's true.
This is true.
We wrote a
This is
whole
true.
script in one
This is
night.
true.
We did. Over a bottle of vodka.
We did. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's based on some true. It's inspired by some true events. I saw this news article about how these hillbillies out in, I think it was Virginia or something, but they got busted for running a private bar in their backyard. and there was some there was
a strip club too.
Yeah, it was a strip club.
In
And
their
the whole
backyard.
thing was so ridiculous because, and why it was so ridiculous is because they had a hearse in the front that I guess they were using as a limo to bring
Like that.
to bring people there for VIP service in the back of a hearse. You can't even make this stuff up. I was like, that's a movie.
Yeah, a hearse in the middle of
So we got ourselves a bottle of vodka and a thing of orange juice, and we cranked out a script in a single night. Tremaine and I.
Can anyone else do this in Hollywood? No.
No,
Nobody else
no, I
in
can't.
Hollywood do this. No.
Not
Only
anymore.
me and Carrie.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's script's there. We just gotta get the funding for it. So it's gonna be a blast. I think it's gonna be definitely. It's got Animal House material. We've been joking that we'll make it say something like "The Millennial Gentleman Presents Redneck Strip Club" or something like that.
Yeah. Absolutely. And dude, we gotta have Will. So
That's
Will,
right. We gotta have Will. Will's perfect for the lead
yeah.
role. Yeah, absolutely.
Will's a star, man. Will, if you're hearing this, man, we already casted you in this role. I hope you're down. I have a feeling. I have a feeling you will be.
He'll be down. He's perfect. So the
He's
plot
amazing,
the
dude.
plot basically is this guy's down on his luck. He's a hearse driver actually, and he's down on his luck, and his grandpa dies, and wills him his land. So he goes there, he goes to this out of the woods place, in this backwater town, and he discovers that his grandpa built himself in his barn this whole bar, strip club joint sort of place, like his personal man cave basically, was this huge bar. And they have, this debt that's owed by the grandfather that he now has inherited. He has to pay it back. So they start operating it as an actual bar. Of course, they're not licensed or anything, so they run into some trouble.
Yeah, it's all under the table.
They get into some trouble with a local, official strip club owner who's a real sleazebag and stuff. But they end up being better, having wilder parties, crazier things happening. It's really funny. And I definitely think it's got animal.
Role, by the way, I think if I'm the sleazy strip club owner guy, my cameo. I think that's my cameo.
Sure, maybe.
I go, yeah, maybe we'll figure it out. But yeah. But he inherits. He essentially inherits a strip club that is highly illegal, but it's a residential strip club, and redneck strip club he inherits, and then it's about him discovering his life.
That's right. Discovering love,
Yeah, discovering love. Yeah, he falls in love with the stripper with a heart of gold. Right, Carrie.
Yeah,
and that's based on a true person too, as well.
We got an actress in mind for her already. One of our friends.
Yeah. Already. Yeah. So, yeah, man. Yeah, dude. We have a few actually, and a few others that are, So it's gonna be funny, man. It's fun. It's like bringing fun movies back.
Right. Well, there's Animal House, of course, but some more recent would be like The Wedding Crashers. Like I imagine it as kind of like that type of humor, American Pie, something like that. Not politically correct at all.
At all.
Not,
well, we're not like politically correct guys, So putting this together, dude. That's what I'm so stoked about. It's like putting this together, not holding back. It's like as soon as you start to hold back, like the humor goes out the window. It's like it starts becoming not funny anymore, right? Like what is so and so going to think about this? Like, you can't think about that. You know, like, we're making redneck strip club. It's like, what else? what do you yeah, who's not gonna watch that though? Like, if I see Redneck Strip Club on my Netflix queue, I'm watching this immediately. Immediately.
Yeah, it's a catchy title, I'll admit.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. It really is.
What was the script that you and Eric dreamed up one night while I was very drunk? I wasn't able to participate at all. I'm pretty sure I spent the entire because we had just went over to Sunset and Vinyl, and I got into that absinthe after I'd already drank a bunch of other crap.
Oh, that's true.
And I spent the whole night basically sleeping by the toilet. And you guys wrote a freaking script called like what was it? Daddy Jukebox or something. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
There was some ridiculous movie. It was called like Daddy's Jukebox or something like that.
It's Daddy Daughter's, or sorry, Daddy's Daughter, or no, Daddy's Daughter's Diner. Daddy's Daughter Diner. Something like that. It's like Daddy's Daughter's Diner. So like a daughter, you know, grows up in the diner because her daddy owns the diner. She grows up in the diner, and there's a jukebox in the diner.
It is a pretty ridiculous concept, as I recall.
Yeah, no, it is ridiculous. Well, we were talking about like there was an Olympian, like a former Olympian that got injured in a match, and we were talking to an actress friend of ours that could relate to it because she had an injury in her sporting career, and so yeah, so it's about someone who like injures themselves in their sporting career, and then they redeem themselves in a daddy daughter diner with a jukebox. So that's what happens.
I thought like his soul was like in the jukebox or something.
This is like looking too much into it, but yeah, maybe, yeah, sure, yeah. Let's put his soul into it.
I thought there was like definitely a possession going on, or maybe it was the dog. I can't remember what it was.
There's no dog. There could be a dog.
I could have swore there was like the dad. The reason it's part of the dad in the title was because he was like possessing something. I thought at first it was the jukebox. Now I'm thinking more. Maybe it was the dog. There was definitely a possession part with the dad involved.
No, there was no possession. It was just daddy daughter diner. That's what it was.
So the dad's alive?
Yeah.
I must have been really drunk that night then.
Yeah, you were very drunk that night. But so were we. Yeah.
Yep. So Sunset.
Dude, this is funny, man. Oh, I just got a text. See a trailer for my upcoming documentary.
I can't watch it right now, but definitely later.
No, someone just messaged me that.
Oh, somebody else has a documentary that's coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So like we could watch it and we could react to it.
I can't watch it because my phone is currently being used to record your audio for my podcast.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So anyway, so we have several movies in the works. You know, Simp is actually happening. You know, Cat Town is coming out soon. But like Redneck Strip Club is in pre-production development. But that will happen, and it's Will. You know, Will, who's an amazing actor. He's awesome. He was also reprised. He was in the Bachelor Party episode too. And no, he's gonna do a good job. I think he's gonna do a good job. I want him to grow a mullet. Like we could give him a wig, but I want him to grow a mullet. You know.
That's fine. Business in the front, party in the back.
That's right. Yeah, dude. And we got the stripper with a heart of gold. You know.
That's right. Stock character.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta get the funding. Because we gotta build the set for that.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, it's really just it's a crappy house with a crappy. It's like a crappy. It's actually that won't be a huge thing. Like the set will be fun. That'll be a fun part. You know, it'll just be like.
But we'll have to like rent a whole crap load of items because it's originally built as the guy's man cave, right? Like it has a strip pole and stage in it. It has a bar, yes, but it's actually intended for him to be his personal man cave, right? So it's gonna have like crazy things in it, because it's a man cave.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bunch of sports stuff, like a stuffed moose head or something, like all kinds of weird things. So we're gonna need like a whole bunch of props we'll have to rent just to stick on the wall for stuff. It'll be like a strip club version of a TGI Fridays.
Yeah.
That's at least how I imagine it.
Nice, dude. Okay, I like it, dude.
So, need a bit of a budget.
Yeah, it goes in the budget, but, that'll be fun. I mean, that's the fun part, right?
Absolutely. So anyway,
the bad guy though, like there's a stripper with a heart of gold, but who's the ultimate bad guy?
I can't remember what we called him. But like it was probably some stereotypical Italian mafia name. Because like I basically just like who's it gonna be? Oh, he's gonna be like a mafia, Italian type. It's basically like dodgeball, like the competing gyms. Only he's not,
God. Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
But he's like more of a traditional sort of sleazy character. So.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that sounds good.
You know what would be a good movie for us to watch would be Porky's, actually. Because Porky's... I don't think Porky's has a strip club, but like Porky's has a similar type of villain in it, I think, is what I'm imagining.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
dude, okay. Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, let's watch Porky's.
So we'll watch Porky's and maybe write some more lines and scenes for him and stuff.
Okay.
So
that sounds good. Oh, yeah.
Be a tribute.
Yeah.
He's gonna make this film like a tribute to every, I don't even remember what the genre is supposed to be called. Whatever the dirtbag comedy is, a screwball comedy. That's what it is. Screwball comedy. Just put every screwball comedy trope into this movie.
Screwball dirtbag.
It's a tribute
comedy
to the genre.
Screwball dirtbag comedy.
Yeah. Because those are fun movies to watch,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, it's not like we're making the buttermilk gain here.
We're making some amazing stuff.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
So you got Simp all filmed. You just need to start, have time to start editing once you finish editing the Cat City documentary.
Yes, Cat
Town, right. And, you definitely, I really think you try to send some festivals for Cat Town. Don't just, dump it off on Amazon Prime. I really try to license it out. And then try to do the same thing for Simp, too. I think you should do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I wish Zenithor took off. I would definitely license your films for our stations. But as you're aware, things didn't go super well with Zenithor because of COVID, amongst other
I feel
miscellaneous things. Jeffrey Katzenberg blowing his load in 6 months with $1 billion. Like, I can't imagine. Like, how do you screw up? Honestly, man, like, how do you screw up this business with $1 billion? YouTubers have built millions of dollars, but as I know chump change to them, but you can do this in a scalable way. Like Crypt TV is a great example, right? They didn't have $1 billion. They I think they raised like maybe 100,000 or something for their first productions, and it became this great thing. Like whenever you go to the Universal Studios, they license their content, and it's like nonstop showing Crypt TV stuff. Like you can do this in a scalable way without having to spend millions and millions of dollars on productions. It's they overspent. They just wasted their freaking money, and it just I know it probably sounds super jealous, but it's like they could. I was trying to raise money from the same people for Zenithor, and they're like, "Why? How are you going to beat Jeffrey Katzenberg?" I'm like, Jeffrey Katzenberg is going to beat himself. Like his business model makes no sense. It's not going to work, and nobody listened to me. Nobody listened to me at all.
Sure.
Because he's Jeffrey Katzenberg, which is a great reputation, but it was clear by the business model that they didn't understand what they were doing with streaming, and Jeffrey Katzenberg's got great taste for quality stuff, but if you don't have the business model down, it doesn't matter how good your content is because you're not scalable, and that's just the truth. He didn't understand streaming.
That's true.
So it is what it is. I still have a platform, right? I've got a finished platform ready to go. So whenever I can get the funding, we can scale. We can start doing stuff. But in the meantime, here we are. So
in the meantime, here we are.
Here we are. And I do have 10 patents that everybody seems to be violating. So there's that angle I'm working on. But I can't talk about. I can't. Netflix literally violated. Netflix violated my trademark, man. Did I tell you about that?
Really?
Did I tell you about that?
No,
Oh yeah. So Zenithor's slogan, which by the way I trademarked, is "Watch It All." Do you know what Netflix did in December 2020? They launched a freaking advertising campaign called "Watch It All."
No way.
They did. They totally did.
So, dude, I mean, can you sue over this or
Yeah. I can't talk more about it.
Okay.
But
we weren't talking about it.
But yeah, I spent a lot of money on this trademark. It's part of our branding, and imagine my shock when I find out that they did that. So.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
That just goes to show that everybody wants to steal my ideas,
That's true. The whole world wants to steal Carrie Martell, Thespian, actor from The Bachelor Party, episode 2.
It's all true.
It's all true. It's all true.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah. Guilty. Dude, so let's go back to your thespian days. So, what made you want to be a thespian?
I grew up as a poor black child in Montana. Is it Montana? I can't remember the name of the movie. Or The Idiot, right?
Yeah.
Steve
Montana,
Martin.
yeah.
Yeah,
Montana,
no.
yeah.
I'm not Steve Martin in that movie. I never thought about I was going to be an actor in anything, to be honest. When I was a kid, I wanted to make movies, but I never thought about being in the movies, So I wanted to make my own Ghostbusters movie, and I did actually with my dad's home video camera. It's on one of my YouTube channels actually. We had our super soaker guns. And we were
really?
Oh yeah, we were
nice.
I had little monsters that we protect. There's no effects whatsoever, right? The effect was us with the super soakers, making particle thrower noises, and then I would go up and I would knock the ghost over with my hand, and then we'd say "Go Ghostbusters!" That was basically it. It was ridiculous. So I made one movie when I was a kid, and then my dad never let me use the camcorder ever again.
He's like, you're cut off. You made that one shit movie. That movie sucked. No more, Carrie. You can't do anything.
But I always had a little camera, and I used to film all types of stuff with it. I think I got a camera for one of my birthdays. I used to develop the film and everything like that. But I was always more like, I wanted to write is really what I wanted to do. I was focused on writing stories, little comic books, novels, and things. Honestly, I have a diskette, A drive, B drive diskette from like 1991 or something for like an Apple Macintosh. I think it's for a Macintosh too, to be honest.
Oh wow!
So like old school, right? Like the school had these computers, Macintoshes.
So you have like written documents on these.
Oh yeah, drives? Yeah. I have. You're gonna laugh. I have like probably like 100 Star Trek: The Next Generation fan fiction scripts.
I have to be quiet.
I was a huge fan of Star Trek: Next Generation. Like I didn't just
surprised me.
I didn't just watch the TV show. I also read the books. I read the books for adults. I read the books for kids, like about like Worf as a child running around, and going to I think it was called like Starfleet Academy or something. But like I used to read all the books, and I distinctly remember one of the Star Trek Next Generation novels. Oh, losing connection here. No, come back. Lost Tremaine here. Okay, Tremaine's back. Hello?
Hello? Are you there?
Yeah. You're great. You're back. Okay. So I distinctly remember reading one of these Star Trek Next Generation novels that was made, one of the tie-ins for the show. And I'm trying to remember, but it was like there was a sex scene between Commander Riker and the counselor something Troy or other, like she was the psychic. And there was like a legitimate sex scene. I'm like I think I'm in the 5th grade at this point. And I'm like, this is amazing. I need to make my own story of this. So I'm sitting there writing like my own novels about Star Trek. I think it was called Star Trek: The Next Generation. The Next Generation.
Star Trek: The Sex Generation.
No, not the Sex Generation. It was Star Trek: The Next Generation, and then there was like something else generation, like the future generation. It was I was like 5th grade. Okay, I had like no talent for exactly. I'm sure all the stories sucked. I'm positive that they all sucked. That they were like the most terrible fan fiction you ever seen. But like I didn't know what fan fiction was. Like there wasn't the internet was around, but I wasn't using it until the local phone company had internet, which was like in 1996 or 7 or something. So this is still a couple years before I discovered the internet, because my mom worked for the telephone company, so we had the service like right off the bat when it did come out in the area here in Oregon. And so I didn't know what fan fiction was. I was writing stories based on it for my own personal amusement. Right? I never showed them to anybody, never printed them off. But I have them all sitting on this floppy disk because I used to spend my time writing Star Trek: The Next Generation fan fiction instead of doing like class assignments. And my grades were pretty much accordingly, what you would expect. Shockingly, yes.
So they weren't very good.
But I still got the floppy disk. Yeah, they're probably terrible. They're probably absolutely terrible. Because I do have some of my earlier writing from when I was a kid, and it's pretty bad stuff. It's very much, when you're a child, you don't really have original ideas. Everything's derivative of what you've seen or, So I hadn't yet mastered how to create something original.
I'm just thinking about, 12-year-old Carrie Martell, thinking about just stuff to write and to write. Well, that is the thing, dude. Is like, dude. I remember because I wrote too, and I love Goosebumps, right?
Oh
So
yeah, Goosebumps is great.
Oh yeah, I read all the Goosebumps, right? So I read Goosebumps, and then like one of my first assignments was, I remember the first short story that I wrote, and it's a story of like a boy and a girl, and it's like, oh yeah, hey, it's so stupid. It was so like when you talk about like child's and derivative, like I was watching, I was reading something about Goosebumps and something about aliens being from elsewhere or whatever. And it was like, take off that suit because they're aliens, right? And so, like, at the end, like, my big plot twist was like, oh, yeah, well, take off that man suit, or whatever it was, or like the boy suit. And then they unzip themselves and they're aliens at the end, And, like, people love my short story. Like, I wrote it on my, I wrote it, in class and all that stuff. But, yeah, man. It's just funny thinking about like those type of stories. It's like those are the ones that you really like, and you're just like taking from whatever which is like right in front of you.
Well, they do say good artists copy, but great artists steal, and what they're trying to say is like you're supposed to build upon the mythos and the tropes that are already there, and try to make something that got the same feel as something else, but adds to it. It's got something original. And what I like to do is I like to take a story that I like a lot and then try to find some way to like twist it. So I got this novel called Pandemonia Chronicles, and when I was a kid, I really, really loved the Chronicles of Narnia, which, I'm sure you've at least, seen the movie of like the first one, right? So it's a fantasy world. They've got like Aslan, the God Lion, or the Jesus Lion, I guess is more appropriate. The Jesus allegory lion. He's a big character, but more importantly, they have all these talking animal characters, right? Well, my big twist is that all the talking animal characters in this story, they're all demons, and the actual villains are the goddess of light, and the paladins, they're the ones that are actually the bad guys. There's still like a demon king character who possesses the main character, and he's definitely a bad guy, but the main character has to use the demon king's powers because he's facing off all these crazy supernatural things, especially the paladins that are specifically designed, they're empowered by the goddess to fight monsters and stuff. So the only way that he can deal with them is by using the Demon King's powers. So I wrote it originally as a twist of Chronicles of Narnia, not because I disliked it. I just wanted to, I liked it a lot, but I wanted to make my own version of it. So I thought I would twist it a little bit up with some of the roles and the themes of the story. So, that's it's okay to build off of other people's work. You just got to try to find your own spin on it, I think.
Right, yeah. You can't just copy, but like, yeah, copy and steal, like, but I think that's more of like a framework, It's like, I guess you kind of steal the framework or a solid framework. You're inspired by a certain thing, and, there isn't, like they say, like, oh, there's, like, yeah, it's like, yeah, there aren't, there aren't. But, like, think about the best idea that you have and go from there, So you don't have to think about something completely original, but it's good to, but, like, base it off of something that's actually really cool and, I don't know, something that you could use. So.
Right. I do have my own children's horror novella series, kind of like Goosebumps.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called Creep World. I think I've shown you some of them, or I tried to get you.
Yeah.
I think I've tried to get you to read some of them. I love it. Yeah.
Creep World's amazing.
Yeah. And one of the stories is called, I think it's called The Tale of the Haunted Video Game.
Okay.
It's about a Nintendo cartridge that a boy buys at an estate sale with his dad, who's big into retro game collection. and the game cartridge doesn't have a proper label on it. It just has black marker. It's a cartridge that had its label ripped off, so you can still see like part of the label on it, right? And in black marker it says Drabardi, which means fortune teller. So you play the game, and it's kind of like there's a Nintendo game called, I think it was called the 13th Taboo or something. It was a game where you basically it was like a tarot card reading game, basically. And it was spooky as hell. I remember I rented it as a kid, and I was like, this is creeping me the heck out. I have no idea what's going on. But you would ask it questions, and it would give you answers back, right? So, in this story, Drabardi's like that, but it has an actual monster inside it. It's actually possessed by an actual spirit. And the fortunes that it makes come true.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I always thought, like, if there's one story that would make a really great horror movie within my Creep World series, that would be it. And I always meant to sit down and like turn it into a script, and I never finished it. But the book's already done, so.
Dude, if the book's done, the book's done.
Yeah. I always thought it would be really, really, really creepy. Like, it would definitely be like a Insidious sort of or sinister type of film. I could see Blumhouse developing it, but I don't want them to develop it. I want to develop it. So.
It's all about Hey-Ho developing it.
Hey-Ho developing it. That's right.
Hey-Ho will develop it.
Yeah.
Hey-Ho Studios will develop it.
But you need some money for some of the effects, right? Not a lot.
Of course.
Not a lot of money, but
not a lot. No. Well, I mean, we need a lot of money for a lot of things, you know what I mean? So. And we're getting it, dude. We're gonna get it. Like, it's not a problem. I don't feel like, you know.
Raising capital for movies is always tough, you know, because you gotta. What people usually want from you is to see that you already have distribution. So you have, and to get distribution, you have to make a really good movie, and you have to either get it within the film festivals, or you become your own distributor, basically. That's basically what it comes down to, I guess.
Yeah.
It's tough. Because even stuff like Netflix, unless you've got like a really great film, they usually want you to actually, you know, be at a festival and they can see people's audience reactions and stuff to things. It's just kind of the culture that still exists, and I don't really agree with that culture. I think if you have good taste in movies, then you know how to pick them. But I guess the challenge is a lot of people that work in the film industry don't really have good taste in movies, so they have a hard time picking. So they need instead to rely upon, you know, how people are reacting in the festivals.
Yeah, no, that's true.
That probably sounds really condescending, but, you know, if you... Some of the meetings I've had, man, with people while I was a VP, you know, it's like they just have, like, no idea what people want to see.
Yeah, I mean, well, they have no idea in general.
I'm not even sure why it is, like, why there's such this echo chamber within some of the culture there in Hollywood. It's such a weird thing, you know, like the culture that produces the movies. A lot of the executives are not really the creative people. They're not creative people at all. They don't watch a lot of the movies that they produce. They don't.
Right.
They're doing other things, which is, you know, kind of weird. They'll hire somebody fresh out of college to read all the scripts and then tell them like which the scripts they should actually focus on. And it's like, how do you know that person right out of college is actually going to have a good judge of what's good?
Yeah.
Whoa, what's going on? What's going on there?
Oh, sorry.
We just went back to 1985.
We really did. This is fun, man. So what's our next topic? What are we talking about?
I don't know. We're about 49 minutes into this. So we'll pick one more topic and then we'll wrap it up. You got a topic in mind?
Well, I mean, the go-to would be Alec Baldwin murdering someone on set.
It's technically not murdering, but you know,
technically not.
It is.
Yeah,
it is a crazy story, though. It is. Yeah, we could talk about that. What's your take on the matter?
Well, okay, so a couple things. One, gun safety is very important on set. If you have a gun on set, you have to be very overly cautious. You cannot just be underly cautious. You can't be jokingly cautious. You have to be overly cautious. And I guess to spill the beans a bit, like, I feel that he was completely negligent. I mean, how does one shoot? Number one, like, even if it was a blank, right? Let's say he had a blank in his gun. Why even, like, point it at the girl and fire at her? Even if you're not even, like, looking at it, you know, why even, you know? So I just think about so many different things. It's like, dude, he had to have been pointing that gun at her. He had to point it at her. He had to. Otherwise, he was, like, just getting it out of his pocket and randomly hit her. Like, it doesn't, there's so much that doesn't make fucking sense. If you think about logically, if someone gets shot, the gun has to be aimed and pointed at that person.
Sure.
You know, so, like, even if he's, like, let's give him all of the benefit of the doubt, right? Let's say that he was just getting it out of his pocket, right? And but you randomly, you randomly accidentally pull the trigger and it goes the way of the person that is, like, the more you think about it, the less it makes sense, man. Someone had to pull the trigger, someone had to point.
So let's back up just a little bit so that people who aren't familiar with the situation can understand what we're talking about. So there's a fatality that happened on set with one of Alec Baldwin's recent films. I can't remember the name of it. Rust. It's an independent film, and they used a non-union stunt person who was the what do they call them? The weapons master? I can't remember what they call these people. The person that brought the guns basically to use in the film, and they brought guns that were actual real guns and not the prop guns that are normally used that can't fire real bullets. And, I mean, sometimes they use real guns. It depends upon the gun, I suppose. But it's common to use guns that can't fire actual bullets. They can only fire the blanks. If you're not familiar with a blank, they literally do not look like an actual bullet. They're wadded. The ones that we shot in the Army are like literally a color-coded thing. It's impossible to confuse a blank bullet with a live bullet. In fact, there's no good reason to even have live rounds on a set to begin with. So what actually happened isn't that, like, they just confused a blank for being live ammo. No, what was actually going on is the person who owns the guns did in fact bring live ammunition with her, and in between sets, like filming, when they're taking breaks, especially at night, you know, while they're all in downtime, they were using the guns for actual target practice on set, because they're filming like in a field or something.
Well,
they were using it.
It's like everything else comes out, like that comes out afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what happened. They were using the prop guns for filming to shoot target practice with live ammo at night, and then in the day they were taking, you know, ammo out and then putting the blanks in for filming with them, and which is insane, because what ended up happening is somebody forgot to take out the live ammo from a pistol, and they gave that pistol to Alec Baldwin, and then for some insane reason he aimed it at, what was it, the second AD or something, and shot her with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's absolutely crazy what happened. Like, I don't know why Alec Baldwin was aimed that direction. Maybe the shot that they were doing required him to point in that direction. I have no idea. But what I can definitely say is that it's absolutely crazy that they were using these guns for target practice on a movie set, which is not something that you don't do that. And Tremaine and I had this conversation before, like, there's really no good reason actually to even use blanks, like real guns to begin with. You
Right.
can literally just get an airsoft gun, and because they have the kickback, right? A lot of these airsoft guns are designed to be
CO2,
super.
dude. They got CO2. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't use the actual bane from the blanks in the actual movies because it doesn't sound right anyway. You always dub over that anyway. So there's no reason why. They can simply add the ejection of the cartridges in post. It's frequently done. You can add the muzzle flash. You can add everything.
Again, dude, there's literally zero reason. And like,
Yeah.
To me, I feel like it was an intentional murder. I feel like Alec Baldwin wanted to murder her.
I don't know about that.
I think he did. He wanted to murder her. That was it.
Why?
He's a murderer. He murdered her. He's a murderer.
I can't go. I think that there's definitely negligence. I don't know.
He ended a life. Alec Baldwin ended a life.
Yeah, but if somebody gives you a gun, you think it's a prop gun, you know.
Oh, and you accidentally point it and shoot it at someone?
I don't know the full details. What I do know is that
please.
What I do know is this, okay?
Dude,
if somebody gave me
a gun at someone to shoot him to kill him, like,
what I do know is that if somebody gave me a gun that's supposed to have blanks in it, and I'm supposed to aim it at a person, I would probably actually make sure myself by taking the magazine out and making sure that it actually has blanks in it before I actually pull the trigger.
Carrie, if someone gave you a prop gun and said, like, hey, this is a prop gun that has blanks in it, I know you, Carrie Martell, you are not going to go point it at people's heads and start firing bullets. You're not going to start doing that. You're going to look at the fucking gun that they give you. You're going to look at the ammunition. You'd probably try firing it in the air.
I wouldn't fire it in the air. I just look at what is loaded in it.
Yeah, see what's loaded. See what make sure. Yeah, man. I don't know, dude. To me, I don't know, man. There's too much negligence to say like someone like the gun was pointed at her. Like, how do you accidentally like murder someone? You know what I mean? Like, how do you accidentally have a gun in your hand and fire it off and kill someone? Like,
there's definitely a lot of failures that took place. There's definitely a lot of failures that took place, and it just says a lot about the industry these days. These types of things should not be happening. We don't need to use actual blanks anymore. It's kind of like people that still, they still shoot on actual film. They get this, this idea in their head. We're gonna be these auteurs, we're gonna make things super realistic. But even if you're using blanks, you're gonna end up touching up everything in post anyway these days, right? You're still gonna do that. So why even bother? Why take the risk anymore? There's no reason to take the risk. Now there's tons of, the vast majority of productions never have these problems. But there has been issues, like Bruce Lee's son. He was killed during the filming of The Crow, which is super. Brandon Lee, he's super tragic.
Complete negligence.
Super tragic, because he was a great actor. And there was no reason for that to have happened.
He was a thespian like you, Carrie.
He's probably a lot better than I was. Not that I am, but, I'm just saying, like, in this day and age, with the technology we have, like, there's no reason to do that. I'm pretty sure...
I agree, dude. Dude, honestly, the thing is like, I just don't see it, man. I don't see it. I don't see it actually happening. Like, I don't see it actually happening, and I just don't see it, dude. It's like, I don't understand.
I mean, I understand. I just explained what happened. They were negligent with the weapons. They decided to fuck around, and it cost somebody a life. Like, why do you need to have live ammo to shoot at night with the guns that you're going to later shoot, the film with and aim at people with? It's just totally irresponsible, and I hope that she's held accountable fully for that, because that's a person that their stupidity, like intentional stupidity. Like, I'm pretty sure, I don't know all the rules for the unions and stuff, but I'm pretty damn sure that there's got to be some thing that, because like her dad was like a famous arms master or whatever it is for a lot of these shoots. Like the guns that she used was her dad's guns, and like he's supposed to train her, and like she had to have known not to do this stuff. I don't recall her dad ever doing some crap like that and getting people killed. So
yeah,
it's
man.
irresponsible. You know, these a lot of these younger people these days working in film, they're just so eager to impress their buddies, and they're not being serious about, you know, what's going on, and it gets people hurt real bad and killed even.
Yeah,
because some of the stuff that they do in these films is really dangerous. Lost Tremaine here for a moment. See if we can get him back. Come on. Yeah, and Tremaine's back.
And I'm back.
Welcome back. We're at the hour mark though now, so let's we'll have to wrap this up for the listeners here. But
okay.
I hope that you guys got something out of this. You learned something. Had a few laughs with Tremaine and I.
I hope so too. Like Carrie and I, we had a lot of laughs. Especially at the beginning. A lot of laughs, guys.
A lot of laughs. And a lot of laughs to come, I hope. So, hope you guys enjoy this. Give it a like. Share it with some people you know.
Like, comment, subscribe. Share it with everyone you know. Share it with your best friend, and share it with your worst enemy.
And to the Newberg cult that's, I'm sure, watching everything that I'm doing.
Yes.
I'm glad that you guys I'm glad that you guys are helping me promote my shit.
That's it from The Bachelor Party. He reprised his role as Brad Pitt.
That's right.
The Bachelor Party episode 2. The Rise to Showstopper. You guys have to watch this film. It's a masterpiece.
I'm sure that you'll find some secret thing about me by watching these films that you'll be able to share with everybody. So definitely check them out. You know.
Please.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys in the next episode.